Good morning. Today's topic is asepsis and infection control. Asepsis refers to prevention of tissues, instruments and working environment from contamination with microorganisms. Sterilization refers to removal of microorganisms either in the vegetative or spore state from any equipment or instrument. Disinfection refers to removal of all pathogenic microorganisms from any surface or article, and the agent that brings about disinfection is called a disinfectant. Antiseptic is an agent that is applied on living tissues that prevents growth or action of microorganism. Decontamination refers to making an instrument or article free of contaminants. The aim of asepsis is removal or destruction of microorganisms from objects, tissues and working environment, thereby improving the success rate of treatment and to prevent complications, ultimately leading to improved patient satisfaction. To achieve asepsis, certain standard precautions have to be practiced in terms of healthcare professional practice, patient care, maintenance of equipments and working environment. Healthcare professionals need to get vaccination done against susceptible infections. It is recommended that they practice hand scrubbing techniques before and after every patient. Universal barrier methods have to be employed irrespective of the infectious status of the patient, and they should take measures to prevent needle stick injuries. Vaccination is commonly done against hepatitis B, tetanus, influenza and other infections as per the need. Standard hand scrubbing technique forms the basis of aseptic operative procedures as it minimizes the transmission of microbes from the operator to the patient. The standard hand scrubbing technique is as follows: disposal of soap and lathering it, rubbing of palms against each other, rubbing of palm against the back of the other hand, rubbing of palms against each other with the fingers interlaced, the fingertips or the back of the nail is rubbed against the palm of the other hand, the thumb of one hand is rubbed with the other hand in rotatory movements, the wrist of one hand is rubbed with the other hand, and finally the arms are allowed to dry. Universal barrier methods include the use of gloves, mask, apron and eye shield. Prevention of needle stick injuries can be done using engineering based controls, work based controls or administrative controls. Engineering based controls involve the use of advances in armamentarium such as self-sheathing needles, in which the needle can be recapped automatically as the needle is withdrawn from the patient's tissues. The needle bound stick stopper consists of a stand for holding the needle cap, and it can be capped without any risk of injury. And of course the needle destroyer, which helps in disposal of the needle immediately after use. Work-based controls include the use of tissue retractors instead of using the fingers for retraction when an injection is being administered. The scoop technique for needle sheathing and a separate container for sharp disposal also help in preventing needle stick injuries. Post-exposure management for hepatitis B include collection of serum for analysis of anti-HBs antibody titers. If the value of the anti-HBs antibody is greater than 10 million international units per milliliter, then the individual is considered to be protected and no further intervention is required. If the value is less than 10 million international units per milliliter, give primary vaccination. If the individual has already got his primary vaccination done, a booster dose has to be given. Currently, there are no vaccine available for hepatitis C, and therefore serum has to be obtained at 12 and 24 weeks for monitoring of anti-hepatitis C antigens. If the source blood is suspected to be HIV infected, then collect source blood for HIV antibody test and start post-exposure prophylaxis immediately. The post-exposure prophylaxis consists of antiretroviral regime, which includes zidovudine 10 mg, lamivudine 10 mg, nelfinavir 1.25 mg BD. With regards to patient's care, standard draping and eye shields are recommended. It is also recommended to use antiseptics and prophylactic antimicrobials as per the need. The commonly used antiseptics include isopropyl alcohol 70%, povidone iodine, and chlorhexidine. The regular preoperative use of an oral rinse, including an antiseptic such as chlorhexidine, would reduce the oral microbial load and therefore reduces the amount of microbes transferred via aerosols. The common antimicrobials used for oral procedures include amoxicillin, cephalosporins, and metronidazole. The instrument maintenance and environment maintenance will be covered in part 2. Thank you.